record. So, but I'm back now. I think it's time for us to start back where we ended, where we stopped last time. So, like I said yesterday, today's class was supposed to be on questions, where you guys to ask your questions and I should guide you guys on the mistakes you guys have been, the mistakes or difficulties you guys have been facing throughout. So I don't really know. If you have any questions, you can ask those questions regarding the videos you have watched. For those who are new, regarding the videos you have watched, you can ask the questions. But if you want to start anything new, we won't start today. If you have any questions regarding the videos you have been watching, you can ask those questions now. I hope you guys can see my screen. All right. So if you have any questions, you can bring it further. If this Zoom ends, I'll send another link like after 10 minutes. Send another link in case we are not done with all the questions. If anyone has any question, you can ask, so you can start the question and answer session. You can unmute yourself if you have anything to say. I hope everyone is using the Bbma, but if you really like the Bbma, you can use it to take your traits. But if you're not comfortable with it, there's no reason to use it too. In case you are wondering on your directions, you can always use the Bbma for directions. For instance, if I'm using this Bbma indicator, we always call this candlestick a CSAK buy, like a candlestick direction. This one also is a CSAK buy. There's a CSAK buy. Whenever we have a CSAK buy, meaning we have this candlestick breaks the middle Bollinger Band and close above. Like this is two candlesticks close above this middle Bollinger Band. We call it a CSAK buy. I will take time and we are going to really dive into this Bbma. If you guys really like it, we're going to really dive in it. So this is CSAK. Whenever you have a CSAK, it simply tells you this is directional. This you have a change in direction. Whenever price is going to come back in this moving average 5 and 10 low, we're going to have a buy to the upside. That's why we had this move to the upside because we had this CSAK buy. It means a change in direction. Whenever there's a change in direction, there's always going to be a pullback. Price is going to come back somewhere around here. So if we go to the lower time frame, we are going to see price came somewhere at this week here. Tap here and we had this move to the upside. So now we have this other CSAK. We have this other CSAK means price close. This is like a mini CSAK, but we are already on an uptrend. Price close here above this moving average 5 and 10 high. As I said, these red lines are moving average 5 and 10 high, while the green lines are moving average 5 and 10 low. This one price close above is moving average 5 and 10 high is not yet a directional candlestick because if it should have closed above this upper Bollinger Band, we are going to call it a directional candlestick, a momentum candlestick, sorry, meaning we have more momentum to dive up to the upside. But we had just this dodge here, price close above this moving average 5 and 10 high, meaning price is going to retrace to this moving average 5 and 10 low, and we have to move to the upside. So I think this on the daily time frame, price already got to that zone, which is at this RBS right here. So if we turn this off, we are going to see where price is actually reacting from this zone here. So you can start refine. You can actually start the storyline from here. This sell was supposed to end at this point here. This was my TP for this sell. I'll explain why I took the sell to. So this is where price is actually reacting from. So you can actually go lower time frame on the daily. You go to the 1 hour or turn off your mics unless you have a question, please. All right. So let's say we go to the lower time frame. Like here, we want to see here we had this pullback. We had this tap into this zone. We had this pullback here. This was our TP, as I said. On this trade here, price tap here, and we had this reversal. So we are waiting for Monday tonight once market opens. I think today should be Sunday. Once market open, then we're going to see the reaction of this next candle. If it's actually going to give us a CRT, an H4 CRT, we're going to have something like this. Going to be our range. It's going to be our range. Yeah. Hold on. Our range low, and here is going to be our range high. So I want to see this CRT play out like this is going to be a total subshoot occur here. Meaning price is going to come back inside this range and close above here, this range. And I'm going to go into the lower time frame and look for my confirmations. I'll look for a confirmation like this one. I'll look for a confirmation like this. And I'm set to target my buys. But if I don't have anything here, no beginning of any storyline here, then I will start looking for sales only. I'll start looking for sales only. So since no questions yet, let me explain this trade entry. Actually, I always scalp on gold. If you've seen my trades, I always scalp on gold. Let's use BBMA. So what do we have here? Actually, gold was trending higher. You can see we have been having this re-entry buy. Price was going higher. Price was closing above. Look at price close above. I told you whenever price close above here, if we're already above our middle Bollinger Band, you see, like for instance, we're above this middle Bollinger Band here, right? Price close above this moving average 5 and 10 high. You have 99% price going to come tap into this green zone, this moving average 5 and 10 low, and move to the upside. You understand? So that's why you see we had this re-entry. As I said, this indicator doesn't lax. Whenever, if you have noticed it in real time, right? If you've noticed it in real time, whenever price comes into this zone here, it's going to indicate automatically re-entry buy. It's going to this dot is going to appear here, telling you this is re-entry buy, unless it just breaks it. You get, because the indicator doesn't control the market. You understand? So it's going to tell you here we have a re-entry buy. Now, once you have gotten this on the 4 hours, what are you supposed to do? You can now start looking now for your key levels at that point. We have this V-shaped key level here. Let's see. Let's take this off. We have this V-shaped key level here. I didn't actually see this one. And we have liquidity also present. Liquidity present. So if we check our BBME, you're going to see where is this actually reacting? It's reacting inside our entry zone. Can see inside our entry zone. So if we want to refine this, let's go a little bit lower. Let's go a little bit lower. We have this key level. Liquidity is already present. Price just needed a tap into this zone and we had the buy to the upside. But you're not just going to take this buy, you're going to refine this buy. You're going to refine it to have a clearer, because we're on the 1 hour time frame. You won't set your stop loss right down here before taking a trade like this one. So you have to go lower, searching for ways to refine an entry like that. Let's see if you can start the storyline. I've actually seen where I could take the trade. If I was to take this buy, I could take it from here. But let's see if we have anything 15 minutes. I don't want to go lower. So if I say on 1 hour, price tap into this zone, and we had this break of structure. We had this break of structure in the form of this bullish engulfing candle. Can you see this bullish engulfing candle? Bullish engulfing candle, that's already a break of structure on the lower time frame. I told you beginning of the storyline, either we have this on one time frame lower, sweep and break of structure on one time frame lower, or you have an engulfing candle. You have an engulfing candle. So here we had this engulfing candle went up. So where are you targeting? You're trying to target the retracement, this pullback here, which is going to be at this point here. That's where you're targeting for a sniper entry at this point. So definitely, as a smart trader that you are, you can refine this, go lower. You're going to pick this entry right from here. You're going to pick this entry right from here. This way, if I was to take this, I could take this straight from here. Because definitely, if I will not say I want to take it down because I don't see any liquidity point down here. I'll just take it from this point where it is. This was a good buy. You could actually make money from that one. And again, let me show you this other sell here. Let's mark this one out. Let's see. So secondly, we had this one. Let me show you guys how this would have been taken. BBME, we have this. Whenever one of these moving averages goes, I'll record an extreme. An extreme. This was an extreme. Because an extreme. If I turn on everything on this indicator, you're going to see it's going to indicate an extreme at this point here. Let me show you. So it's not like we're using indicators to trade, we're just using it to have our directions. Okay, extreme move buy and extreme move sell. If I turn it on, you're going to see it indicates this point here, an extreme move sell. It tells you to sell at this point. You get that's the only beauty of this indicator. It tells you everything, and as I said, it doesn't lax. Everything happens in real time. Once one of these moving averages get out of this Bollinger Band, it indicates here moving average extreme move sell. Can you see? We have an extreme move sell, meaning it's telling you to sell at this point. And maybe once this is going out, price is going to be already somewhere around here. So the price is going to be somewhere around here because that's when this guy is going to go out from there. So that was going to be your point to start selling. Now, what happened? We had a directional candlestick. Where's our directional candlestick? Here's our directional candlestick. Can you see this? Here's our directional candlestick. Why do we call it a directional candlestick? It's a CSAK. In Malay language, it's a CSAK cell. A CSAK cell. This indicator will not name it all. A CSAK cell because we have changed direction. Price was bullish. We had this CS, we had an extreme, had a CSAK cell, meaning price have changed direction. Simply, what this is just portraying is something like this. Price is moving up, sweeps, break structure, and we need now a reversal and price should sell. So if I turn this indicator out, I turn this indicator, yes, our CSAK candle, right? Here we have our CSAK candle, meaning our directional candle. So what do we have? We have price moving in a bullish manner here. Then we had this sweep. Can you see we had this sweep and we had this break of structure. Are you guys seeing this? Let me turn line chart to see. We have a sweep, we have price went up, we have this break of structure. We get this break of structure straight down. So that already gives you automatically, it already tells you we need a pullback into this zone and we are going to cash this sell to the downside. That's just on H4 time frame. So what do we have? Yeah. According to BBMA, let me turn BBMA on again. We want price to come inside our whenever we have a CSAK. I hope I'm not confusing you guys. I hope it's not confusing. Whenever we have a candlestick direction, a CSAK sell, what are we expecting? We're expecting price to return into this moving average 5 and 10 high inside this red badge. Are you with me? Then we have to sell to the downside. So where's the price coming inside this red badge at this point here? So what are we looking for? A key level. Here was a key level, an A-shaped key level, or a Quasimodo key level here. So let me turn this BBMA stuff off. We have this Quasimodo candle here. This Quasimodo high here. So this was our beginning of a storyline. What started the story? I also marked this one up because I expected price also come there. But any of these ones, those are our key levels we're anticipating. This is our last resort key level also here. We're actually waiting for price to tap. So what happened? Price came. Tap here. What do? You want to refine this zone. You can choose to just take at any of these zones here. But now we don't know which zones. Maybe price is going to react from here, from this Quasimodo, or price is going to react from this other Quasimodo. We don't actually know which Quasimodo, which point price is actually going to react from. So that's what we want to refine it to find that exact point where we want price to actually react from. So that I'm just trying to make this easy with this indicator. So let's go 1 hour. If it's not clear 1 hour, we'll check 15 minutes. Let's check 15 minutes. All right. 15 minutes, where's the price tap? We had price tap. Again, the same structure we saw on H4 time frame, we're having it here. We have a sweep, we have a break of structure. We have a sweep, we have a break of structure. We even have two break of structures. We have this break of structure here. And we have this other break of structure here. Now, what are we looking out for? We're looking out for liquidity. We're looking for liquidity. This was our liquidity. The reason I marked this was because of H1. On H1, what did I have? I had this level. I had this open close level right here. I marked this open close level as my entry right here. But now when I went on 15 minutes, I had to see an SNR at that zone. Okay. So if I could take that zone, this was my SNR here. But now this was a weak high. This was a weak high here. This was definitely a weak high. That's why I had to pick out this one as liquidity and pick out this one. I think I went, let me see, is it 30 minutes? 30 minutes or 5 minutes to get this entry. 5 minutes, yes. I went on 5 minutes. I had this weak high and I had this SNR right here. Can you see weak high SNR? So this was liquidity and this SNR was a sniper entry right here. So that's how I got this entry. And where am I targeting? Where am I targeting? I think I went back to H4 or daily. And I had to pick this zone right here, daily time frame. Daily time frame. I don't know. I've been trying to pay for this subscription for all this stuff, but my phone has been declining my card. Whenever I try to log in my card, my phone declines for the past time. Even for my Telegram subscription, I haven't paid. For my Twitter subscription, I haven't paid. Zoom, I haven't paid. TradingView, I haven't paid either. That has just been giving me troubles. So this was my point here where I was actually expecting a reversal because on the daily, if we use Bbma, where's price coming back to? Going back to this zone here. So we have some chances that price might actually react from this zone. You get, because according to Bbma, price might actually react, and also have this A shape, this RBS here where price might actually react from. You understand? So let's see. Since no questions yet, let's see more. These two, yeah, this one, yeah, was simply this one here was simply there was no Bbma here. Here we had the entry buy and price didn't actually buy right to this point. So here was, I think, daily time frame. Let's see. A shape. Price came tapped at our A shape. Price tapped into the A shape. So that's why I always say this was our A shape here, right? Our A shape, if we turn online chart, here was our A shape here. So I always say price needs to tap and close below. But I've told you guys, not all the time the price tap and close below. You need to now go on your lower. Once price already tapped into that zone, you need to go on the lower time frame and start looking for your confirmation. But whenever price taps, wait to see price going to close below. If it close below, it's still to your advantage because we can't control the market. So let's see what happens if we went to 4 hours. You can also refine your key levels. You need to understand you can refine your key levels. So if we go to lower time frame, H1, let's see, we had this other block here, still a key level and SNR level. So one still a key level and SNR level, but still another block, like another block. That's where this price was actually reacting from, this one here. But you see, we go on the lower time frame, this is higher than this one. But on the higher time frame, this is higher than this one because all these ones high in the week. Get all these ones high in the week. So what happened here? We had price come, start into that level. We needed a break of structure. We had price broke structures here to the downside. And what happened? After break of structure, your first pullback is liquidity. Simple SMC. We had this pullback as liquidity, and what happened? Price comes back, taps into this one here. We had after, whenever this, I've told you guys a simple hack. Whenever you have liquidity, after break of structure, whenever you have liquidity, which is your first pullback, right? Just know the next level closer to liquidity is your entry. The next level closer to liquidity is your entry. Here we had this open close level. Yeah, we had this open close level. Liquidity is open close level. Let's see if we had an SNR at that point. 15-minute SNR. Okay, we had an SNR. There was an SNR at that point. And also we had this open close. Yeah, I think I marked because of this open close. I marked this open close and I marked this SNR. This were points that made me to actually take the trade from here. I had so many reasons to sell from this point. Liquidity, open close levels, price tapped and saw the movement. So let's see again. There's this one here. This one, I think, let me see. I think H4 gave me something. H4 BPME, let's see. All right, H4 BPME, we had a momentum candle sell. Can you see this momentum candle sell? Whenever you have this momentum candle, it means price, this candlestick close below our lower Bollinger Band. You can see price close below our middle Bollinger, our lower Bollinger Band. Even a momentum move sell, meaning we have more momentum to sell. Okay, so what are we expecting? We entering into our moving average 5 and 10 high to the red zone. So we could actually classify this one with this level. Can you see this level right here? To begin a storyline. We could actually classify on this storyline. What if the price came tapped? This is fresh. This is fresh because of this candlestick that took it down. So price came tapped and we had this move to the downside. This was liquidity here present. Yeah, this liquidity here present. Price came tapped, and you have a CRT here. Even. It's a CRT here. You can mark out the CRT and you work on the CRT. You can catch the sell from here. So let's see what happened. H1. H1. We had a break of from this point here. We needed a break of structure. That was if we had this on H4, that means let's use 15 minutes for our analysis. 15 minutes. We had this break of structure. We had this break of structure. This one. This break of structure too. So this was where I actually got everything here. Using simple SNR, we have this A shape here, right? A shape SNR. What do? We had this as liquidity price came tap at this point, and we had this move to the downside. We had the break of structure here again. We had this broke. So this was, you could take this as your first entry if you wish. You could take this as your first entry. The price tapped into this SNR here. The price broke structure. This was a sweep here. External line chart, you can see this was a sweep break of structure. So this was simply like a Quasimodo. So everything is just combining SMC with key levels, Malaysian support and resistance. So you had this pullback, this first pullback after break of structure was liquidity price came, tap into this open close here on 15 minutes, and we had this sell to the downside. And you can see I added our trend lines. We are still going to work on trend lines, but I think that there are videos on trend lines, but we are still going to take trend lines because I knew we had this trend line to support this entry. Price tap, and we had this sell to the downside. And once price broke this structure to the downside, we had this pullback, and I had this sell again here. As you can see, back it up with our trend lines. Still on 15 minutes, you can back it up with our trend lines, double trend line, this X factor trend line. Price tap there. Even this cell here, this one, I can show you how to protect, you could get this but this was liquidity here present only 15 minutes. So everything boils down to getting your direction. These are continuation trades. Everything boils down to getting your direction, getting a clear direction. This, we're running out of time, but if this one expires, I'll send another one. So if you have any questions, you can ask. This is volatility. This is derivative. I don't use Bbma here unless I have to add it on my MT5. I don't like using indicators on my MT5. So this one I just use pure price action. This was daily open close. Can you see? We had a break of structure. We had series of break of structures to the downside. POS. Yeah, then we had this pull down. Normally, this can give you something like a momentum candlestick because we have this down candles here, the momentum to the downside. So we had this open close here, fresh open close, and we had liquidity present also in its life on the daily time frame. There was liquidity present in its life. And what happened? You have to confirm this. Price came tap. You can also confirm a CRT from here. If you confirm a CRT from here, that means this trade has already gone. Because I'm seeing it's like I'm not wanting it's going to come back to this hour zone again. Because I gave this out yesterday, right? It's already at this point, I don't think price is going to come back here. Like the trade have already played out. Because what I was actually looking for was price tap into this key level, this open close level, H4, H4, H1. And this explains about how to catch confirmation by this week. All right, hold on, I'll come to that one. So let's see. So what happened? I saw now this H4 open close on H4, this H4 open close here, and I had liquidity present too. I had this liquidity present here. So I was like, maybe price is going to come back to this open close because if I went down to 1 hour time frame, I had this SNR level and I had this as liquidity. So price would actually come back here. Or price would even use this one as a resistance zone and use it as liquidity and come back tap here and sell. So we don't actually know. When price get there, then you look for your confirmations and you look for your sell opportunities. But let's use CRT to tackle this. Let's see what CRT actually gave us. So if price tapped into this level, this was our CRT high. This should be our CRT low. Yeah, price tapped, goes below. So we are looking to catch this third candle. So after daily, I think I can dive to 1 hour. Look for a break of structure. Look for a break of structure. We had this break of structure here. One break of structure. Yeah, I think should be just one break of structure. And we had immediately pullback after break of structure, first pullback. Or that is liquidity, break of structure, first pullback should be liquidity. And what are we having? I think still price is coming back to this in my open close here. I don't think this resistance level could be where price actually got it. Let me check 4 hours time frame. 4 hour. If I see this open close, then you'll find open close, you'll find because I don't want to think this trade has already played out. Let me see. 15 minutes. Yeah, might have played out already. Might have played out already. If it has played out, then it was a nice trade. But I don't think I still believe price might actually come back up to that my level. Actually believe price might come back up to that my level. So I'll just see how it goes. But if it played out, that means this was a trade from here. Very nice trade. Very nice trade. Then I also had P75. Okay, this one finally hit CP. This one hit CP. Let's analyze to get out what I tip it. Daily key level. Let's see what happened. Daily time frame. We had this key level price tap here. We had this movement up. So this was a CRT here too. CRT here. This was my key level. I refined this level. This was a key level right here. And a V-shaped key level, and I went 1 time frame lower. So let me show you guys something. See, we have to look at price tap into a key level here. And what happened? We had this bullish engulfing. Can you see we have this bullish engulfing? I found this on the web for how to look at price. Can you see we have this bullish engulfing here? mean it's a break of structure. We have a break of structure. Whenever I don't want to look for break of structure, I told you whenever I have this bullish, when price always come 50% of this engulfing, and we are going to have a move to the upside. Okay, so now what's for you is to catch this 50% move of this engulfing candle to the upside. That's just a point. That's really a point for you. So I think I went lower and I had to refine this key level to this one. I think that's what I did. And I had this break of structure. Let's check which one. We had this break of structure. Price went up, gave us this pullback, broke structure again. And we have our normal sweep. We have this normal sweep here. This was sweep. This was our strong low or protected low right down here, where we don't expect price to come back to. And we had liquidity. This is our simple SBI model. Price came back tap here. The reason I took this one was 50%. I think 50% should be of this here, 50% of this other block. I took 50% of this other block. That was my entry. After liquidity, 50% of this other block, that was my entry to the upside. This H1 as confirmation on H4. I used both H1 and H4. They're mostly H4. Mostly H4 for higher time frame key levels. I use for the highest time frame key level. If it's for continuation, the highest time frame for key levels is H4. But H1, I just want to look for setups on H1. I hope that's clear. I think V75S. Okay, I had this other setup on V75S. Let's check daily. If we're using Bbma here, this would be a momentum candlestick here. This one. So you see what happened? Price came back to this zone. To this zone here. This was a support zone which became resistant. So we call this an SBR. Why the other one is an RBS? So this is an SBR, a support zone which became a resistant. Price broke, price comes back, and we had liquidity present. So price actually came back up into this zone. I had this move to downside. So I'm also scared maybe this move have already played out. I'm scared this move have already played out. Maybe H1, let's see. H1, yeah, this was our first break of structure here. This call end in less than 1 minute. I'll send the next. Let me stop it and send the next link.